Why are we so obsessed with going back to the moon? After all, we were there more than 50 years ago, right?
That's an excellent question, and I think the answer is deeper than it seems. Going back to the moon isn't just about repeating what we did in the past, but about laying the groundwork for the future. The Artemis mission has big plans, and it's not an exaggeration to say that it's a crucial step towards long-term space exploration.
Absolutely. But let's put this in context for those who aren't as familiar with Artemis. This NASA program aims to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon. But here's where it gets interesting. It's not just for the technical achievement or to plant a flag, but to use the moon as a springboard to Mars.
Exactly. The idea is to use lunar resources, like the ice that has been found at the poles, to produce water, oxygen, and even fuel. This would completely change the game for space exploration. Imagine not having to depend on Earth for every mission. It would be a giant leap.
Also, there's something symbolic about this, don't you think? Returning to the moon in the 21st century is a statement that we are still an exploring species. We are ready to face new challenges and expand our boundaries.
Yes, and it's not just a project of the United States. Although NASA is leading, Artemis is an international effort. Countries like Canada, Japan, and members of the European Space Agency are collaborating. There's even a commercial component, with companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin actively participating.
And this also has technological implications here on Earth. The research and development for these missions lead to advancements in fields like artificial intelligence, stronger materials, and renewable energy systems. All those advancements eventually end up benefiting us in our daily lives.
Of course, and let's not forget the educational aspect. These kinds of projects inspire new generations to take an interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. When kids see astronauts getting ready to go to the moon, many of them start to imagine themselves doing the same.
Now, there are criticisms too, right? A lot of people wonder, why spend billions on space exploration when there are so many problems here on Earth?
It's a valid criticism, but we also have to consider that space exploration drives advancements that can help us solve global problems. From managing climate change to developing new technologies for food and energy supply. Also, the space budget is usually a small fraction of what countries spend in other areas.
And there's another interesting point. Artemis is breaking barriers in terms of inclusion. For example, one of the goals is to send the first woman and the first person of color to the lunar surface. It's a powerful message about how exploration should be in the future, more representative and diverse.
That's right. I also want to mention something about the scientific experiments. The moon is like a natural archive of the solar system. By studying its surface, we can learn more about the formation of planets, including Earth.
And this brings us to the big question. Why do we need to look beyond Earth in the first place? Isn't it enough to take care of our own planet?
It's true that we need to take care of Earth, but we also need to diversify our options as a species. Think of it like insurance. If something catastrophic were to happen here, it would be vital to have the ability to establish ourselves in other places.
And finally, there's the inspiration factor, right? When we look at the stars, we realize how small we are, but also what we are capable of achieving together as humanity.
Absolutely. Going back to the moon with Artemis isn't just a dream. It's a demonstration that we can still aspire to great things, even in times of uncertainty.
Well, there you have it. Artemis isn't just a return, it's a new beginning. What do you think? Is all this effort worth it to go back to the moon and look beyond?
Leave us your comments. We would love to know how you see this return to our natural satellite.